Hey,
Hey, it's us again!
what do you mean it's us again?
You know, since we're back and all that.
Dude, do not ruin this, okay? I had like 5 comments on my last video. 5 whole comments. Anyhow, we're gonna talk about another game world and why it would be bad to live in it. Just imagine the endless possibilities if you started living in a video game world. A world with jungles to hunt in, horses to ride, and NPCs to harass. A world where you'll have places to go, things to see, and man-eating fish-infested oceans to keep you from swimming away.
You know what? That actually sounds bad, this whole man-eating fish thing.
It does, which is why on this episode we're going to talk about the world and the setting of the Dishonored games and why it would suck to live in it. Let's just get this out of the way. We love the Dishonored series, and I'm sure most of you would agree with us on this. They feature fun and innovative gameplay mechanics, solid world building, as well as entertaining stories backed up by rich lore and interesting characters. On top of that, the game world is beautifully designed and fun to explore, with the developers putting a lot of effort into detail. All these reasons contribute to the fact that playing a Dishonored game feels like a trip to an exotic European island in the middle of a long summer.
That is, instead of the countryside, you're in a sewer attacked by rats and other assorted disasters.
But that's fine, you say. We're just here to take in the sights, chuck down a bottle of wine, and stab some people in the back.
All citizens, no pedestrian.
Or the front. Oh, electrocute them.
What the?
You get the point, right?
But imagine actually having to live here, having to spend your days as an actual human being. Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Imagine waking up in Dunwall or Karnaca.
Hold up, didn't we do this already?
What do you mean?
You know, the whole dark and gloomy, sad and depressing thing.
That was for New Vegas.
This kinda sounds the same though, right?
Hey, if the world is dark and depressing, the world is dark and depressing. It's not our fault. So, imagine waking up in Dunwall or Karnaca, 2 of the cities in the Empire of the Isles, the fictional world where the Dishonored games take place. You think to yourself, hey, things don't seem that bad. There's money lying around, there's free food everywhere, and you have a benevolent empress ruling over the land for the most part. I use the phrase for the most part because they have a habit of getting stabbed. Or kidnapped. Or forced into exile and getting replaced with an evil witch.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown.
So, yeah.
So if you're a noble or an aristocrat, you kind of have okay living standards. And you're safe. Somewhat.
You also get to hang out with people like Lady Boyle, who throws lavish parties, which then turns into murder masquerades. Or the Pendelton twins, who hang out in lavish brothels, which again turns into a bloodbath.
Someone help!
Or the Duke, Luca Bell, who is enjoying all the modern comforts at his grand palace. Or even the famous Brigmore Manor where... Yeah, on second thoughts, maybe don't go there.
Both Dunwall and Karnaca each have their own ups and downs. Sure, you might say that Dunwall might be the more depressing one out of the two, with its morbid-looking dockyards, dark and dingy factories and freakish whaling operations. And when compared to that, Karnaca has a more touristy vibe to it, with places such as the Royal Conservatory, the Palace District and the Upper Syria District. Hell, even Jindosha's Clockwork Mansion if you can survive that death trap.
Visual awareness in the front. Playback for combat protocol. Detection indicates the head unit.
This is all good if you belong to the 1%. However, if you aren't fortunate enough to live in one of Dishonored's cloud districts,
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
things are not gonna look good for you. Especially if you're someone living close to the docks, or in the sewers, or the flooded district, where the situation looks like this.
Bad place to live unless you're rich. Got it.
Well, you can try your luck being a shopkeeper, you know, the shady, sneaky black markety type.
Feel free to browse my offerings. I am proud to say we are still open and fully stocked despite the recent incidents at other shops.
But if rumors are to be believed, that's also turning out to be a bit of a health hazard. Stories are going around about black market shopkeepers being found unconscious in their shops and robbed of everything they had.
This is quite ironic, considering the fact that people end up being shady black market dealers in the first place is to stay away from the public eye while trying to make money by selling their wares to customers with unusual taste.
Then there's the gangs that are running rampant all over the cities, each with a fancy name that fits their dress code. With names like the Bottle Street Gang or the Hatters or the Howlers, I guess the point here is to inspire fear in their enemies. Oh, and they sometimes fight each other as well, so you're most definitely going to get caught up in the crossfire.
I mean, various gangs fighting each other for territory and the law does not scream safe neighborhood, now does it?
Come on, let's get this, you bastard! Yeah! You'll sleep in the river mud tonight.
Things are quite sad and depressing. Living conditions are abysmal. There are plagues and infestations going around. At times like this, you can only seek help from the law.
You know what? Someone once said that you can tell a lot about a country by looking at how their law enforcement operates.
Who said that?
Sir William D.
Hello.
Bonaparte?
Bonjour. Right.
Anyway, this monarchy is also home to several levels of law enforcement to ensure that law and order functions in a lawful way. Note to self, put more effort into scripts. Take the city watch found in Dunwall. From a distance they might seem quite confident, standing all tall and proud, patrolling all tall and proud, manning checkpoints all tall and proud.
But if you get close and maybe even eavesdrop and observe carefully, you'll see that they are not quite professional, or decent, or sensible. The only things that they are quite good at are harassing citizens and blaming a lot of things on rats. Oh, and they are also able to throw objects at people. Quite a handy skill to have if you are 5.
Sure, you have the city watch officers or the elite guard who are actually well trained, disciplined and above all competent. They mostly stick to guarding the rich upper class like the Lord Regent or the other nobles and aristocrats. Discipline-wise, they are much better, but they are still guards.
Their counterparts in Karnaca, they kind of look a bit more professional, but behavior-wise, they are still a bunch of jerks.
Guess what happens next?
No!
This is how we get rid of snitches. Remember, if anyone asks, he just ran through it.
Credit where credit is due though, those Karnaca guard outfits are much better than what they are wearing in Dunwall.
You know what? I kind of dig the whole blue and red thing they've got going on here, as opposed to whatever this is. I mean guys, seriously, would it kill you to have a sense of fashion?
Stupid gut.
Okay, I guess it does.
And the law enforcement is backed up by their technological wonders, mechanical contraptions that I'm quite sure are there to safeguard the citizens.
Never gets old.
For starters, there are the walls of light, a whale oil-powered force field of sorts which prevents unwanted visitors from getting through.
Y'all thought immigrations and border patrols are bad, huh? Try running through a wall of light and see what happens.
And then there are the arc pylons, electric shock generating Tesla coil-like things that zap those who get too close.
And last but not least, the tall boy.
Part man, part machine. All city watch.
Your move, creep.
No, they're not part machine. They're just dudes with heavy armor. Oh, and they also have bows and explosive arrows and also spotlights. And can mess your day up in an instant. Kind of slow, kind of heavy looking, but still a major level pain in the ass. When you can't turn to the nobility, when you can't turn to the authorities, who are you going to turn to? Who are you going to call?
The Ghostbusters!
They don't exist here.
Then, religion?
Out here, that's kind of worse. You see, in the world of Dishonored, the formal authority of religion is represented by the Abbey of the Everyman, a religious order which has its hands in state affairs as well.
Being the de facto religious authority in the Empire, the primary goal of the Abbey is to ruin the outsider's day and keep an eye on people to see if they are worshipping someone or something else. So you're basically left with no choice but to say no to all sorts of magic and witchcraft if you want to remain in the Abbey's good books.
And being the religious authority that they are, they also take part in a bit of law enforcement. Oh, and they officiate marriages too. Sure, because people are cool getting their wedding officiated by dudes who look like this.
I know you're here.
You know what? I'm gonna take a rain check on the wedding. Like, never.
They also provide entertainment at high-stakes social gatherings and events, musical overseers. From what I've heard, they're quite fun at parties though. They play music and liven up the place. Hey, who needs a DJ when you got them holy jams, am I right?
Someone get over here.
And you can forget about the witches. Basically, a group of people who are hell-bent on worshipping the outsider. They have magic, they can reanimate dead wildlife, and they have serious anger issues.
How do you want to die? You're so dead last minutes.
And added to this is the notorious crown killer that's running around in Karnaca and Dunwall, systematically taking down enemies that might oppose the ruling party.
Wait, so the crown killer kills people using a crown?
No.
Do they wear a crown whilst killing people?
No, the crown killer does not kill people using a crown, nor do they wear a crown while killing people.
Oh, I get it. They kill people who wear crowns.
No, the crown killer kills people who might be a threat to the Empress.
So, where does the crown come in again?
There is no crown. Well, like in any other country where the public has good faith in their government, people start assuming that the crown killer is either Ko Otano or Emily Colvin, who are respectively the royal protector and the empress.
Well, in reality, the crown killer is actually a famous scientist called Hypatia Alexandria, who also goes by the alias Grim Alex.
Are you all right?
Dr. Hypatia did this. She's the crown killer. But she's not herself. She developed a serum trying to help the miners. The first version caused horrible changes to her mind.
After getting a dose of her own medicine, she becomes an amnesiac, is manipulated by the enemies of the Empress for their own specific political agendas. It's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation, that is, if Mr. Hyde specifically killed people of the aristocracy.
The moral here is Alchemistry 101. Do not drink or inject yourself with the crap that you make to test on other people. Classic mistake.
Hey, do you like dark and depressing places? Do you like alternate dimensions where souls go to die? Do you want to hang out in a semi-afterlife with an entity that has the habit of appearing out of nowhere? Well then, I'm here to tell you all about the Void.
The good old Void and the Outsider. The source of all things magic in the Dishonored universe. The Void itself is nothing much to look at other than being an upside-down version of what's out there in the real world. Albeit a bit darker and a lot more depressing. This place could use a little bit more decor, a lot more feng shui, and a lot less deadware.
I wonder if it'll be friends with me. Hello, ground.
The main man of this godforsaken location is the Outsider, who can be best described as a mysterious, morally ambiguous, supernatural being. You expect that with the atmosphere of this place for this guy to look like a supervillain, but nah, he's just a regular looking young guy with a severe case of sleep deprivation. The Outsider is also notorious for giving certain people his mark. And what is this mark, you might ask? Well, basically the power to do magical shit out there in the real world.
I so enjoy watching history warp as words pass from the lips of one to the ears of another.
That actually sounds kind of pervy. I think I'm gonna take my chances with the Abbey. Yeah. Let's take it from the bottom. I'm talking about sewers here. And you know what's found in sewers?
Shit and trash?
Okay, fair point. But other than shit and trash.
Turtles maybe, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja variety.
We're really hip.
Seriously, we're talking about the world of a video game.
Oh. Then rats.
Aha. Rats. Dunwall is notorious for its hordes of rats. It is said that the rats themselves were actually introduced as a form of population control, which then gradually spread out throughout the entire city.
And if history has taught us anything, rats carry diseases. And surprise, surprise, this gave way to the rat plague in Dunwall. And now it is virtually impossible to go anywhere without stumbling across rats. And paired with the unsanitary living conditions and the lack of proper facilities, we now have rowdy rats running rampant and romping along the river.
The problem here is not just the existence of the rats, but what they also do. Because it seems that they have developed a taste for the flesh of the human variety, that is. Brits, poor, guard, civilian, assassin, it doesn't really matter. Because when you're rat food, you're rat food. On the plus side though, the rats get the blame for almost everything.
Probably rats into everything.
Probably rats into everything.
This place.
What in the? Probably rats into everything.
A suspicious noise.
Nah, probably rats.
Help! Somebody stole my sweet roll!
Must have been rats.
Oh my god! There's been a murder!
Probably just... Wait. It is rats. You. But hey, if it wasn't for the rats, you wouldn't have the traditional Dunwall rat dance.
And with rats come the weepers.
The weepers are people suffering from the rat plague. They are not pleasant to look at and even less pleasant to hang around. They also tend to vomit all over the place and have a personal escort of parasitic insects.
Not fans of personal hygiene, I see.
And then there's bloodflies, vicious parasitic insects who build their nest in abandoned houses and abandoned people.
You mean those big-ass mosquitoes?
They are most certainly not big-ass mosquitoes.
They fly, they sting, they suck your blood, they cause dengue fever and malaria. Mosquitoes.
They don't cause dengue fever and malaria. You honestly expect to survive after getting bitten by mosquitoes that size. Dengue fever and malaria would be the least of your problems. However, they are pretty vulnerable to fire, which is definitely going to come in handy.
There's also the wolfhounds, a weird, creepy-looking bunch of dogs mainly used for guard duties. They are seen hanging out with the city watch or the overseers. Unless you specifically get up in their face, they are usually harmless. I would like to emphasize the fact that the keyword here is usually.
I'll read sign from your entrails.
And then you have the river crusts, who are a type of shellfish that live under docks. They can't move, but they spit acid at you. But on the plus side, if you're willing to take a risk and somehow manage to take them down, they will have pearls inside, which you can then sell for cash.
Someone get over here!
So it's kind of like a fool what you want, your life or your jewels kind of a situation.
Did you just quote MOP?
Maybe? And last but not least, hagfish. Man-eating aquatic wildlife found in bodies of water all around the Empire of Isle. These guys have the teeth and the bite to back it up. Just look at these demonic faces. Do you really want to go back into the water after seeing that? Yeah, the biggest issue by far is the number of assassins running around Dunwall and Karnaca. Wait, did I say assassins? I am sorry, I meant to say outsiders mark bearing, supernaturally proficient, magically teleporting, stab you in the back, shoot you in the face, will kill you in the blink of an eye, super-powered murder machines.
Kovo Artano, Emily Caldwin, Billy Lurk, and Dowd. He's just Dowd, plain and simple. Or you can use his work name, the Knife of Dunwall. Yeah, that really puts me at ease.
And one of them is the Empress. The Empress! Yes! The Empress is an assassin running around stabbing people. I mean, if Bruce Wayne can be Batman, why can't Emily be an assassin?
Hi. Bruce Wayne.
Oh, and Emily and Kovo, they have a talking heart, which is once again, to no one's surprise, connected to the outsider. What does it do? You squeeze it and it tells you stuff.
She baked their cat into a pie and brought it to them. She called it a little peace offering. The pain his head drives him to do unspeakable things.
The word around the block is that the heart is actually crafted from the former Empress Jessamine Caldwin after her death. So for Kovo and Emily, this would mean that they have a portable navigation system in the form of a vital human organ which contains the spirit of their dead mother or lover. Lovely.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Well, despite all of this, I'm sure that these assassins might tend to stay out of your way unless you're one of the following. A. The local law enforcement. B. A noble who has wronged them. C. A target, obviously. And D. A mime.
Nothing to say. I'm a mime, get it?
Sheesh, looks like everybody hates mimes.
Yep, everybody hates mimes.
Okay, bye-bye!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it would really suck if you started living in the world of Dishonored.
So, since we are about to wrap up, are there like any songs in any of these games?
Songs? What do you mean?
You know, music that I can... Huh?
What do you mean? Wait.
There was never a man like my Johnny.
Nope. Not gonna happen. This is it. We're done. The video is over. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for checking out the video, guys. I had a lot of fun making this. And if you're still interested and if you're still here, make sure you go over to Movieslinger's channel and check out his videos as well. We did some more collaborations where we talk about Waterworld, where we talked about John Wick. The link is in the description below. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.